It's the Weekend Warriors podcast with your host, In-Ting.
The Weekend Warriors podcast is brought to you by the Adoptive Warrior Program. Please consider supporting a warrior team of your choice through the Adoptive Warrior Program. Your support will help us to continue to provide an exceptional student-athlete experience at the University of Waterloo. For more information on supporting one of Waterloo's 32 varsity teams, please visit gowarriorsgo.ca/donate. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Weekend Warriors podcast. I'm In-Ting. In this week's episode, we'll recap the games from this weekend with soundbites from women's rugby coach Ian Fitzgerald. For our showcase interview this week, we'll be talking with the women's field hockey team of the upcoming season as well as their fundraiser event this Thursday. And of course, we'll tell you about all the games you can attend to show your support for the Warriors this coming weekend.
Recap!
We'll start with women's soccer, who was on the road against McMaster on Saturday. Rookie Ainsley Sador scored for the Warriors in the 28th minute to make it 1-1 of the half. In the 68th minute, Danielle Erb, another rookie, scored the game-tying goal on a fortunate deflection off a cross. Final score, 2-2. On Sunday, they made a trip down to QEW to play Brock in St. Catharines. Danielle Erb opened the scoring in the 19th minute with her second of the weekend, but Brock equalized in the second half. Final score, 1-1. Erb was named Waterloo's Female Athlete of the Week for her 2-goal performance. On to men's soccer. They also played McMaster on Saturday and Brock on Sunday. They were held up the score sheet both times as they fell 6-0 to McMaster and 1-0 to Brock. The loss to the Badgers was on a 27th minute penalty kick. Women's rugby played Western in London in pre-season action on Monday, but came up short as they fell by a score of 28-7. Jamie Walker had the lone try for the Warriors. Here's what Coach Ian Fitzgerald had to say about his team's performance. Hi, so I'm here with Ian Fitzgerald, one of the coaches of the women's rugby team. They played Western, final score 28-7. Ian, what do you think about your team's performance today?
Well, I think the biggest thing was we were just looking to see what our attacking structure looked like actually against an opposition. So we've implemented a few new strategies on attacks. So that was our first real chance to see that against a proper opposition. So it was nice to see the girls working through that and figuring it out as the game went on. Some things and areas to improve would continue to be that, to continue to tighten up that offensive structure. And then defensively, we were looking a lot at our line integrity and making sure we come up with a lot more pressure, which again started to improve as the game went on. So that was another work on for us, for sure.
Take us through that goal line stand in the second half.
Well, again, I think first half at the break, we talked a lot with the girls with respects to that they were connecting well as a unit, but they weren't really applying the pressure once the ball came out. So that just continued to improve, and you started to see that as we gained more offensive opportunities into that second half.
Speaking of offensive opportunities, Jamie Walker with an amazing, basically end-to-end try. Obviously, her teammates provide a lot of support, but take us through the mechanics of that try.
Well, it came off one of our starter moves, and Rebecca and I both had an opportunity to work with Jamie through the summer, so it was just kind of a natural progression for her.
That was Ian Fitzgerald, assistant coach of the women's rugby team, post-game from Alumni Field in London. This week's guests are Natasha Symons, Jennifer Mead, and Helen Coroy from the field hockey team, who will talk about the upcoming season, as well as their fundraiser event tomorrow in collaboration with the men's hockey team.
Hi, I'm Natasha. I'm going into my second year for Recreation and Leisure Studies, and I'm a forward on the team.
Woo! My name is Jenn. I'm going into my 9th year of post-secondary schooling. This is my 5th year on the team, and I'm doing my PhD in water chemistry.
All right, and my name is Helen. I'm going into my 4th year of kinesiology, and I play forward this year. I play forward this year.
Defense,
used to play defense.
Just switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there is a little thing that's unique about your schedules that's a little different from like soccer and football and volleyball. It's that you guys go to neutral sites and play teams there. How is that like?
I'll take that one. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we play tournament style. So we all go to one location and play 1 or 2 games typically. I don't know. It's pretty good because you're in one spot for the day or the weekend. It's a lot of travel, but it's better than going to Toronto one day and Queens the next, I think.
And sometimes it can get tiring playing more than one game a day, but they usually space it out enough that it's not much of a problem.
So when people come to a field hockey game, what kind of offensive style can they expect? Like, how do you guys build up your way to scoring?
I would say it's very similar to soccer, but typically we try to move the ball up the right side just because that's our strong side. But otherwise, it's the same kind of thing. Like, there's the nets in the same spot. We have a circle that's outside the net, and shots need to either be taken in that circle to count or be touched in that circle if they're hit outside. And that's the main difference, I would say, between us and soccer.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people get frustrated watching field hockey because all of our sticks are right in. They're like, why don't you have left-handed sticks? But a lot of that is just the structure of the game. Like, it's a whole different mindset working the ball always up the right. So it just adds another dimension to it. And the other thing is we don't have offside, but then we have the circle. So there's no point just cherry picking if you can never work it up the field and get it into the circle.
So I guess kind of like soccer, our set play is also a really crucial part of the field hockey game.
Yes. Yeah. It's just a little bit different strategy. I mean, I've never played soccer at a high level, so I can't really speak to what they do. But yeah, we practice all of our like short corners, our penalty plays, our long corners. Yes.
Yeah, and like we transfer the ball, that kind of thing. Like the movement is very similar.
So going from last year to this year, you guys obviously had a devastating loss against Western, where you lost against the 6th-seeded host team by a score of 1-0. What was it like after the game, and how are you guys turning that around for this season?
Yeah, it was obviously really frustrating because going into that final game, we knew we could compete with them, and we had a pretty even playing match. And we had good control of the game up until the very end. So I think obviously that loss was heartbreaking, but I think going into this year, keeping that in the back of our heads, we want to keep striving to beat them this year, and I think because like they were seeded 6th and we were seeded 4th, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And we were expecting to play York in that bronze medal game, and so like knowing it was Western and I can compete against them pretty well, we were pumped going into that game, and we like played our hearts out. Like we hit posts, we had just
could not hit the net.
Yeah, just shortcomings. But yeah, I think it just brings that drive forward into this season that hopefully we can get to a gold medal game ideally. And continue that fight.
Yeah. Just using it as motivation for this year, for sure.
Awesome. And last thing, you guys have a fundraiser happening on Thursday in collaboration with men's ice hockey. So tell us about that.
All right, well, it's been something that we've done for the past 2-3 years, maybe with a year in between. I can't even remember who came up with it, but just as a fundraiser to kind of, actually no, it didn't start as a fundraiser. It's just an event to get to know more varsity athletes. So we talked about this year even doing it against other teams just as a fun thing. Then we turned it into a fundraiser because being field hockey, we're pretty poor and we love donations. But it's just a great way for us to get new students coming out because it's at the beginning of the year, and get them watching some field hockey games so that when we do have home games come October 6th, I'm pretty sure our home games, people will have already been a little bit interested, see how we play, see how much fun it can be. And it's just a great time for us too, because the hockey guys are terrible at field hockey. Actually, no, they're pretty good. But they just do some really fun things, and just play a completely different style. So it's good for us to play against people that we're not used to, and we can't really predict what they're going to do. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a good way to get the community together and to raise a little bit of funds too.
I think it's a really cool and fun way to educate people about field hockey, because a lot of people don't know what it is or like how to play it or what the rules are. So it's a cool way to get people out and have fun. Like we have so much fun, and I'm sure like everyone that comes out has tons of fun too. Like it's just, we're laughing the whole game.
Yeah. And it's a great example of what not to do, because the hockey guys do everything they're supposed to do, because they're learning all the rules for the first time. So I remember last year one of the guys laid down in front of the ball to stop a shot, which you just can't do in field hockey, and I'm not sure why you'd want to.
They do in hockey, so it's like
yeah, but you don't have any padding. Like
yeah,
it's craziness. But yeah, there's always good times going on there.
Speaking of good times, I've heard rumors that Nick Konezik is offering $20 to offer a ice bucket dunk on certain players on this team.
Yeah, I think that was directed at me. He said, because I wrote in the event that we're going to line the field with donations, so we were thinking coins or dollar bills, or not dollar bills, $5 bills or whatever, and he's like, can I just give $20 instead of getting, 2,000 pennies? Yeah. I was like, no. Oh, okay, I guess that would make sense. I guess I'm getting water on my head. Yeah, that's what's happening. So if anyone else would like to donate $20, you can pick a member of the team to be dunked with ice water.
So just a reminder, when is this men's ice hockey field hockey fundraiser?
It's September 7th. We're going to teach the guys the rules at 7:15. We'll start warm-up at 7:30. And we're also going to have a silent auction, so people can come early to kind of scope out those items. And we'll be taking donations. There's no admission fee. And then the game will start at 8 and go till 9.
If you're finding the event hard to find, it's actually a Facebook event that you can publicly view, so be sure to see if your friends have linked it, because it's a great event for a great cause. All right, so thanks guys for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, games this weekend. Men's and women's soccer will be playing back-to-backs on the road against the Algoma Thunderbirds in Sault Ste. Marie. The venue is off campus at Superior Heights CVI, located at 750 North Street. The women play at 1 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. The men play at 3:15, also on Saturday and Sunday. This Saturday, women's rugby will open their 2017 regular season at home against the Brock Badgers. Parking is free at Laudex. For stats, scores, and schedules on all your favorite Waterloo Warriors teams, visit gowarriorsgo.ca. I'm In-Ting Ho, and thanks for listening to this week's Weekend Warriors podcast.